Hey Eric, Nick O'Neill here with Leo Digital SEO. So I got this video here for you. It's going to be giving you 3 points for the website and for the business. And those 3 points are going to be content, backlinks, and citations. And then I'll show you, Eric, the opportunity of taking these steps for your business and why it might be so important for you to start doing these steps right now. So first things first is content, right? And generally Google likes to see 1,500 to 2,000 words, and that's depending on competition and the number of keywords needed. If you're asking what a keyword is anything someone might type into Google when they're looking for a particular service or product. So in your content, you can place these keywords throughout to tell Google exactly what terms you want your website to be found for. For an example, EMC concrete coatings might have a keyword such as garage epoxy flooring, San Antonio, Texas, or garage epoxy flooring, New Braunfels, Texas, or stained concrete, Canyon Lake, and things of that nature, right? The list goes on and on and on. For the sake of this video, I'm going to be using the top competition over there in San Antonio and San Antonio alone instead of the service areas just to help you out in that area, right? So I got your website over here in a word counter, and we see that your website is at 301 words. You are going to want to go ahead and get that up to 1,500 at least so that Google would consider your website an authority, right? Your top competition in San Antonio, which is San Antonio Epoxy Floors, we can go ahead and see how you stack up against their homepage word count. And we see that they're at, about 1,522 words. So instead of getting even with them, I would go ahead and say get up to 2,000 words so that you can put in more keywords and be able to outdo them as well, and that Google will consider you an authority, right? To give you more of an example of what those keywords are, we got a tool over here that I use called Ahrefs. I pay for it monthly. It gives me more in-depth data on websites and the competitions. But there are free tools out there that you can use. This is just what I choose. So to give you some examples of those keywords, let me go ahead and show you what they're using for their keywords, San Antonio epoxy floors. So one keyword might be epoxy floor San Antonio. We see that 250 people are searching for that monthly. And this KD is keyword difficulty. That's 0 to 100. And that's going to be how hard it is to rank for that word and how quickly you can go ahead and get that word on the front page of Google. Your website on the front page of Google for that word, right? We see that they're getting 33 people from that monthly, and they're ranked number 3, right? So here are all the keywords for an example that you could use further on that. So on that second point that I'm going to have for you, that's going to be a backlink. Now, a backlink is anywhere you find one website linking to another website, or in this case, it's going to be one website linking back to EMC concrete coatings. So these links, they act like an endorsement of your website from others, and Google basically uses this to build trust in your business by seeing others vouching for you, right? The best way I can give an example of this is it's literally like a popularity contest in Google's eyes, where the person with the most websites linking back to their website is winning that quote unquote popularity contest. So whoever's winning that popularity contest is going to rank higher over here in this organic section a lot faster and a lot quicker, right? So if we go over here to my tool arrows, I got your website in here, mccoatings.com. We see that you have 29 backlinks and you've got 5 referring domains or 5 other websites linking back to your website. Your top competition over there in San Antonio, which is San Antonio Epoxy Floors, they have 116 backlinks and 28 other websites linking back to their page. So they are winning that popularity contest over there in San Antonio. The idea is if it works for them, then it should work for you. No, it will work for you. So we can go in there and actually look and see what websites are they getting to vouch for them and link back to their business page, right? And so here are those websites right here, and you go in, create a profile, and then get a link put in there that would go ahead and link back to your website, right? I do want to point out that not all links are created equal, so it is worth noting to stay relevant to your industry, and local websites will work best. To go further in detail on that, this DR, this number right here, this domain rating, the best way I can give an example of this is it's 0 to 100, right? And in Google's eye, the higher this number is, the more power that this website has. So you want to go for those higher number ones because they bring more power to your website and they rank them a lot faster and are a lot stronger, right? You don't want to have none of these 0 ones down here or even none of these 1s or 2s or 4s. So stay on those higher end ones and stay local and relevant to your industry. Let's go on to the last point that I have for you, Eric, and that's going to be a citation. Let's look over here in the Google Map Pack section right here. And so a citation is anywhere your business name, address or service area, and phone number are exactly as it's shown on this Google business page right here. So these citations, they help you rank in this map pack here, which is extremely important for local businesses since they can generate huge amounts of revenue. For an example, if someone put in epoxy floor San Antonio, Texas, you want to be in that top 3 section right here. Nobody's going to go to page 2 or 3 to look for those cats and their services, right? So these citations, they're included in directories like Yelp, Angie's, Expertise, BBB, and there's hundreds of others I'm sure you've heard of. Social media accounts are great as well. To give you a further example, if you have a Facebook business page, right? On that Facebook business page, you want to put your Google business name, address, and phone number exactly as it's shown right here on that Facebook business page. And that would count as one citation in Google's eyes. So then you have Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and the list goes on and on and on, right? And the idea is that your brand begins to be found by Google all over the internet. And the larger your online presence is, then the more Google trusts you and your website. And once Google starts to see more often than these cats right here, then the more likely it is they're going to rank you above them in this map pack section, right? So let's go ahead and recap over what I was talking about. Once you get that content up of 1,500 to 2,000 words, you're getting those keywords in there that I gave you an example of and showed you, right? Once you start to get those backlinks from other websites, you got those other websites linking back to EMC Concrete's coatings, and you're winning that quote unquote popularity contest, right? And last but not least, when you're getting those citations done over here in this map pack section, well, let's see what you could be looking at and why it's so important to go ahead and start doing that. So just for San Antonio alone, for the top competition over San Antonio epoxy floors, off of those 3 points alone, they are getting 134 people to their website monthly, just off of those 3 points alone, right? Now, let's say that this was your website because you finally started doing all of that. Let's say you're getting 135 people to your website. Let's say only 10% actually decide to pick up the phone for your services. Let's say 15 people picked up the phone for your services, and then your team only closes out half of that, right? So let's say your team closes out 7 or 8 people, and that's just from San Antonio alone. That's 7 or 8 new jobs off of those 3 points that we talked about, right? I'm not too sure what your profit margins are right now, but I would, guess that that would generate a decent amount of revenue in the company's pocket with 8 new jobs a month. I do want to point out that there are many more keywords to use, especially since you're ranking for other areas or you're trying to rank for other areas. This is just San Antonio alone. I can imagine that it would be way better for these other ones as well, but there's many more keywords that you can be using than just 75 for San Antonio, Texas. And you're only using 53 of them right now, right? So the number right here is almost always higher because this is Air's, a tool that I use. We don't have Google's exact numbers. But yeah, Eric, this is what I do for a living, man, and I'm creating this video in hopes that it will help you start generating more leads online. If you do find yourself wanting more to continue scaling the business, man, feel free to reach out and I can help you with some more information. Or maybe we could talk about the goals of the business and I can do some research to find out exactly what could be realistic. I do just ask that you would leave one line of feedback, man. I do appreciate your time and watching this video. Maybe something wasn't clear, or maybe something was clear and it was great, or maybe you just had another question. Please do leave me one line of feedback. My number is 832-728-9003. Again, my name is Nick O'Neill, and do feel free to reach out. My door is always open. Thank you so much for walking, Eric, and have a great day, my man.